Change. Change happens. Sometimes you expect it, sometimes it's a bit unexpected. Sometimes it's necessary for growth, sometimes it's just the old has to change. Speaking of changes, hi, how you doing? This is my voice. It's gonna crawl over to your right ear for a bit. Hi, yeah, this is you. This is me in your right ear. Bet you never think this would happen. And now I'm in your left ear. Alright, hold on, let me just get back to the middle. But yes, I think that's point proven. Change has to happen. And there's several themes to this. For me personally, change is going back to uni. I am looking to study town planning and get into that field. And that should inform us a tiny bit about what's going to change about the channel. Because I don't want to just do videos showing off wonderful trains and buses doing their thing. I still will do that, I still want to do that. But also I want to do videos that have a narrative, have a thing they want to show, even educate people a bit more about the city. I don't know how much you guys that are listening watch content like that. You've got a plethora of channels all around Australia talking about these topics, but usually limited to Melbourne and Sydney. I want to be that for Brisbane. I've seen a couple of these channels starting to pop up now, so I feel like the time is right to get on this bandwagon. I've been wanting to do this for ages now, I just haven't really had the motivation and the software to get started. But I've got a few ideas. One of the key things I want to do is to explore the network through alternate journeys, where you learn about how the network is by how many different ways can you get to the same destination. That way you can learn about the different variations in network quality and just network connectivity as a whole. You know, how much does the time of day really matter to your trip? But also, I'm able to use something like this to look at gaps in network connectivity. So for example, a video that I will want to do at some point. Have you wanted to get from Ipswich to Logan or to the Gold Coast? You notice that you have to get the train all the way into Roma Street. Or what about some orbital bus routes? How long did they take to complete that journey, and so can you save time at all? Or is it even longer to take a more direct route theoretically? These are the kind of things that you really realise when you try and do an alternate trip. The weaknesses in certain corridors, and then things like this can help promote for better change. Yeah, see what I did there? Linking it all back in. Other personal changes for me. You may have noticed some content from around Australia, because I have met a few good people from around the country and I've travelled with them, stayed over, had some wild nights and some good fun, and that's helped grow my understanding of the cities, how cities should be, what cities should do, and I can hopefully bring that perspective into this channel as well, because one of the things that I have noticed from going to all these other cities in Australia is that the mistakes that we make are not unique to us, and things that we do right are also not unique to us. There's always somewhere that will do something better, unless you get the one time where you've done something the best. The point is that basically there's not one perfect city you can learn from. Every city can learn from each other. Because every city is changing, every city is evolving, every city has growth. Every city will respond to growth in different ways. Sometimes it's because their city's needs are more different to what your cities are, and then that's why they'll change differently. Doesn't inherently mean one city did something right, one city did something wrong. It can, doesn't always. That's why you have to learn from multiple, because the only way you can change for the better is by seeing how everyone else is changing and just learning from everything around you. within the spirit of change as well, in future series I can talk more in depth into the accessibility upgrades I've been seeing around the network, as well as other infrastructure projects, things that I would like to see built in this city, things that should have already been built in the city but perhaps have been kicked down the road a bit in terms of their priority and scope. And yeah, that's basically the idea for the new series that I've been hinting at for a while. Obviously with me doing uni, might get in the way a bit. Hopefully the degree will actually inform me a bit more and I can have a more balanced opinion on these topics. Then also, expect a few more videos centered around Park Road, or Bogger Road, Park Road. That's another change. Also, did you hear about them renaming King George Square to City Hall? There's a lot of things that are changing. While we're here and listing name changes, I'm a big supporter of renaming Central to Anzac Square once Albert Street opens, because Central becomes neither central to the rail network nor the city. Well, it never really was central to the CBD, but at least it was the closest out of Roma Street, Portishead Valley. Somehow Bowen Hills got to honourable mention, and then obviously Central. Once Albert Street is in place, you effectively make a triangle between Roma Street Central and Albert Street. So at that point, Central really should either be Ann Street or, my personal preference, Anzac Square. That's a more notable location next to the station. And these are the kind of things that I can talk about. I can talk about anything that's interesting to the rail network, anything interesting to the city. I can talk about buses, talk about walking links, I can talk about anything that is about the transit network and the city around it. Because these are the things that interest me. I've always wanted to have a more creative focus, not just point the camera, record, end clip, compile into one video and post. I do enjoy doing that, and as I mentioned before, that will keep happening. But things will need to change. Part of why I wanted to make this video is, well, for one, 1,000 subscribers. Hooray, we did it! I can put ads in videos now. Anyway, for those that, you know. Anyway, change is something that I see have a bit of a negative reputation towards it. Even in the rail community, you have a brand new train get introduced, and some people are all for it. Some people are a little bit resistant because, you know, they realize that this new train means the old train has to go away. But it's the thing with change like that. Sometimes, particularly with age, it's gonna happen anyway. The EMU cannot last forever. We do need to retire it at some point. The ICE was already falling apart pretty much. It kept breaking down. Its reliability was through the drain. There are plenty of other changes around the network. Say Cross River Rail is going to shift around where train lines go. That's kind of needed unless you want to spend another $20 billion on junctions to keep all lines going to the same place for no particular reason. Because while I can understand there's a natural hesitation towards change, some people can see change as change for the sake of change. But sometimes people advocate to keep things the same for the sake of keeping things the same. Sometimes things are the way they are not because they are the best way to do it, just because that's just how it's done. Things are allowed to be different. It's a good thing, usually. I mean, some changes are bad. Have you seen how bad train seats are lately? Oh, that's so uncomfortable. Give me an ICE seat or EMU seat any day. But give me the top speed of an NGR over the EMU any day. Dear God, how does that train only go 100 k's an hour? I mean, I know why, but like, you can see that at the end of the day, things do need renewal. Cities need renewal. Transport networks need reform because cities grow and change, and sometimes that just happens, but just does. There's no real driving force forcing things to change. It's just natural. People grow, people move out, people move in, jobs appear and disappear. A city cannot be static, a city has to be dynamic. And that's part of this video. Because we as people need to be dynamic as well. We can't stay the same person forever. And doing the same type of video forever also does get a little bit dull. Don't get me wrong, I do enjoy making these videos still, otherwise I wouldn't be doing it. But there is more that I can do. The channel can be more dynamic. While yes, when a new thing happens, I'll post a video on it. When there's a track closure, I'll post a video on it. But like, it's not really that dynamic. It's just a thing that's happened, and now it's normal. And that's as far as it goes. So effectively, all my channel has been for the past forever is an archive. And when you say it like that, it kind of becomes obvious on why I actually still want to keep doing the current stuff as well, because archives are important. You need to remember how things were to properly appreciate when things improve. But also, if you're just an archive, the changes happen around you, and that's it. With what I want to do, both through education and through work, is to be advocating for better. How much of that will I achieve? Who knows? But at the end of the day, I'll make a video about something that I find interesting, and we'll all learn about this city together. And that's a good change, I think. We can learn about all the good changes the city has had, all the things that still should change, and we can all change together. And if you want to go from the Gold Coast to Brisbane Airport up the Cross River Rail, you can change trains as well. At the end of the day, not every change is perfect. Could it be better? Maybe for an extra 5 billion to remodel junctions to let the airport line connect to Cross River Rail. Is that 5 billion worth it? Not really, let's be honest. And yeah, that's change for you. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it just has to happen. And for those at home that were playing the change drinking game, where you take a shot every time I say the word change in this video, you're poor liver. One final note to end this video on. Do you know what the really funny thing about change is? With change, there's always going to be more. Thanks for watching.